Hey, good morning everybody, good morning, I'm John and today we're going to be doing one more video on this supposed Gen 7 Pokemon. Granted, we still don't know what exactly it is, so we're going to be doing an analysis on what we do know about it and try to decide what type it might be. We actually got a video of it literally as my previous video was rendering today, so that's just my luck. So before we begin, be sure to hit that like button down below to show your support and comment at the end of the video letting me know what type you think it is. And one more thing, just to keep things simple, I'm going to be addressing this mystery Pokemon as Bob, because it's a blob! Ha! I'm so funny! So we're going to be starting off with what type I originally thought Bob would be. I thought Bob would be a ghost type because of its ghostly little tail and its weird looking eyes. Also, in some media forms, ghosts are portrayed in a light green color. Because of that, I do still believe it could be a ghost type, but in the teaser we saw earlier today, Bob was kinda hopping on the letters of the word Pokemon. Most ghosts with a tail in that fashion can levitate, so why would Bob be hopping instead? Although the hopping animation could have just been for style, since this teaser really doesn't mean much. Maybe Bob is capable of hopping and levitating, who knows? At any rate, I still think it could be a ghost type, but I'm not 100% certain anymore. Next is Grass. Most people are actually thinking Bob could be the Grass type starter Pokemon for Gen 7. I disagree because it seems kind of odd the Pokemon would tease one starter Pokemon and not the other two. I mean, Charizard gets favoritism all the time, but that's just because it's had years of people loving it. Also, other than Bob's green color, it really doesn't have any qualities of a grass type. Most other grass types have some visible plants or vines in their design, but Bob doesn't have any. Next is Bug. I've heard a few people saying that this could be the generic bug Pokemon of Gen 7, like Caterpie or Weedle or Scatterbug. And I guess if that isn't a ghost tail, then it's likely a bug tail, but just like the grass type, Bob doesn't really have any other notable characteristics of a bug type. The same goes for fairy type, because for some reason a lot of people seem to think that he might be one. How about psychic type? I guess in some people's minds the tail could resemble the mysterious smoke that you find surrounding a crystal ball or something, or the tip of the blunt you're smoking when you're thinking of these types. Sorry, gotta keep it PG. Or poison type. It kinda looks like a baby snake, so it could evolve into a snake, but then again, Snivy and Zygarde aren't poison types, so I don't think so. Plus, we already have some poison snakes, so let's branch out a little. The next one is the one that I find most likely, dragon type. Let's be honest, a dragon type can look like anything. And so can a normal type to some extent. But anyway, lots of the big and bad dragon types actually look kind of strange in their base forms, like Dratini, Horsey, Trapinch, Bagon, and Noibat. I would say Gumi, but we all love Gumi too much. Here's a simple flowchart to prove my point. Are you based on nothing? Are you not a fairy type? Did you answer yes to both? Conclusion, you are a dragon type. Okay, maybe I dumbed that down just a little too much, but hey, to be quite honest, I can actually see a giant pseudo-legendary dragon sprouting from this thing. Bob has to be somewhat special if they're showcasing it early. Here's a list of the first Pokemon introduced for each generation. Gen 2, Togepi. It's special because it represents the new breeding mechanic. Gen 3, Kecleon. It turns invisible and acts as an obstacle in your path. Gen 4, Munchlax. I don't know. Mime Jr. I don't know. Bonsly, I still don't know. Lucario, yes, it uses Aura. There, can I move on now? Gen 5, Zorua and Zoroark. They have the special illusion ability and they're event Pokemon in black and white. Gen 6, these guys. They're all special. So if Bob really is a Gen 7 Pokemon, then I guess evolving into a pseudo-legendary dragon could be considered special. The real reason will probably be a lot more complex if they feel like it's important enough to tie into next year's movie. And if it's a Zygarde embryo and not a Gen 7 Pokemon, then it's still a dragon type. And last but not least, a new type. I can understand why some people may think this way, but there really isn't a reason for a new type, considering the game is quite balanced type-wise now. In Gen 4, Outrage was buffed from base 90 power to base 120, plus Draco Meteor was introduced. Then Gen 5 introduced the most dragon types of any generations, including 2 huge threats in Haxorus and Hydreigon, so the fairy type needed to be created. That's also why dark types were created in Gen 2, because psychic types were unstoppable in Gen 1. So if there isn't a disturbance in the force, or in the types, then I guess they're not going to make a new type just to accommodate for this one little guy. So my top 3 picks for Bob are Dragon, Ghost, and Grass. If it isn't one of those types, then I'll record myself going outside. I'm allergic to outdoors, and I almost got hit by an asteroid. Remember to drop a like down below if you enjoyed, comment telling me what type you think Bob is, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.